What is going on today, guys? Welcome back. We are back in the shop getting some more work done on the new 24 valve. Perfect time to stop what we are doing and kind of show you guys a little bit of the reason why we are doing this kind of sort of this way. As you guys probably saw in the first couple clips, we are working on getting our air dog pump installed on the truck. So if you guys don't know, if you guys aren't super familiar with any of the Cummins platforms, that 98 to 02 24 valve VP Cummins. So the biggest thing with these trucks, if your lift pump dies, which some of them came on the engine block, kind of like the first gen, they kind of like a little pump off the side of your block. Later ones, or however you want to call that, which I'll show you guys here. And the only reason this truck is completely bone stock, 175,000 miles on this truck. The previous owner didn't have any history of any VP being replaced, any lift pump, and it was a stock lift pump. He knew there was no lift pump on the truck anywhere, which had me a little worried. Now, my man Mark, and I'm not sure if we went over this already, somewhere along the line they kind of realized that having no fuel pump in the tank really pushing towards the VP was killing these things, so they did an update. This truck does have that update. You can kind of tell by this little relay right here, kind of runs along there and has a little inline fuse, kind of goes like that. And this is the relay, kind of similar to the air dog relay that we're going to be replacing, kind of its own separate add-on harness that they put in for an in-tank pump somewhere along the line. So I really strongly believe the only reason why this truck hasn't killed a VP by now, or maybe the VP was replaced before this previous owner did have it like 4 or 5-ish years, which is still a long time to own a truck. If you're gonna have low fuel pressure, you're gonna kill a VP instantly. And that's kind of the main point, is if you have low fuel pressure or kind of zero fuel pressure, unlike the common rails with the CP3s, which you can kind of get away with a little bit more if you're having some of those issues, it's not really going to wipe out anything. These VP trucks, if you do not have a lift pump on a VP truck supplying, I believe the recommended is somewhere between like 14 to 17 pounds of fuel pressure to your VP injection pump. And again, this is pretty common knowledge. I'm not trying to kill you guys with that, but for those of you guys who don't know this, I get a lot of questions about what to look for. So, you know, this specific year, biggest issue that has to get taken care of is a lift pump, and to make sure you don't kill your VP pump. So that's really the main reason why we are putting this air dog pump on here now. Luckily, this truck did already have the factory update done with the intake pump. So you guys know me, I like to modify the sending units a little bit and kind of use them just for return purposes. The factory feed out is no longer going to be used, so that is going to be used for a return as well. So it's going to be a return. We're going to modify the sending unit a little bit as we're using a sump. That's the whole reason we drilled the hole in the bottom of the tank. You can see there is some crap inside there, which we're going to clean out, but kind of just like Jesse's truck, if you guys look down inside there, that little screen, let me see if it'll focus down in there. Probably not. Look at that. Look at all that crap sitting right in there. So we definitely do not want to agitate that, disturb that. Again, with modifying the sending unit, which I'm going to just basically show you after we get done with this, we're going to pull the factory pump out of here. Seeing that we're not going to be using that, we're going to drill a hole in the bottom of this. We're going to clean all of that out very well, clean the tank, finish doing that, and I will give you guys a rundown of what it's going to look like after. Well, this is before what it's going to look like after. But got the wiring harness ran along the back of the frame. The brake line bracket is back on. The main reason that the axle is really not back in place is now is the perfect time if we are going to install cowl tracks to get to this front bushing right here that has to come out for a solid metal sleeve. So we are waiting for that kit to come in as we are going to be installing cowl tracks. So that's why the leaf springs are not back in it. We're just waiting on that kit to arrive. But as you can see, air dog pump completely mounted up. You guys know, huge air dog fan. Huge thank you to the guys at Air Dog. They always hooking us up, getting us supplied with the best in fuel pump for these trucks. So huge thank you to them. So we're going to continue with the install, get the fuel tank back up in the truck, and carry on. We are going to be removing the factory fuel filter from inside of the engine here. get all that straightened up. Don't know if we'll get to that tonight, but really just trying to get this thing set up, halfway done for sure. Also, just a little side note, and this actually looks a million times better than what it did. If you guys are gonna get the back half of your frame sandblasted, kind of like we did, unbeknownst to me, I did not think we'd have this much of a mess getting blown up into the engine, which we did. The entire engine was kind of covered like that. I kind of blew it all off, but if I would have known that it would have created such a mess coming forward, I would have tried to put some type of divider because there was sand all the way up inside there, which did not make me feel real comfortable. But we got that squared away. Just a helpful reminder, if you're gonna get something like that done, make sure you block all of that going ahead. So got all that taken care of. And again, we're gonna remove, this is your factory feed line to your VP. We're gonna remove that completely. This is your factory return line, which we are going to keep. And right here, the fitting on that is going to be a return for the pump, which is gonna go back into the sending unit. So we're gonna get this thing done, get the fuel tank back in, and we'll go over it after we're all set. Alrighty, jumping ahead, we are pretty much all set to go. Got the fuel tank back in the truck. I don't know if I told you guys, we got the fuel tank straps powder coated. These are gloss black. We got some other stuff coated texture, but the fuel tank straps are powder coated nice. Fuel tank is in and all cleaned up, looking good. Fuel tank is cleaned up. Everything inside there is good. Beans sump pretty much loosely installed on there. Some of the black stuff inside there is actually stained. I tried to get that out, but I can assure you it is 100% wiped down and clean inside there. So here is the fuel sending unit, all hollowed out in the middle. These two are just going to be returns, and we are good to go. We can stick this back in here. Got that all cleaned up as well. Pretty much spent a lot of time cleaning tonight. So sending unit is good, and we're gonna go ahead. Well, we can put this right back in here right now. Put that back in there like that. Get that stuff out of the way. Come on, come on. Oops, I was gonna show you guys that. We'll have to dig that back out. Like that. And we'll go ahead and just plug everything back in, return to right here. This air dog return is gonna go to the top of that. So both returns, engine and pump, are going right there. This fitting right here. You gotta take off, what I wanted to show you guys is there was a blue one of these on here. Take that completely off, and then you're gonna go ahead, slide this air dog quick connect like that. So push lock hose to push lock hose. And then we will be pretty much good to go. We'll have to wrap up wiring and the line going to the VP. If you guys can see over here, we got rid of the factory fuel line. We just got to pull the fuel canister up on the engine, but that is going to wait for another time. Alrighty, last week I forgot to bring this when we went to Mark's. So we are going to put this right here so we do not forget before we walk out the door, because we're gonna need that tomorrow. Alrighty guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap up the work that we're gonna be able to get done tonight on the second gen. Not really a ton, not really a whole ton of action, but we're doing what we can with the time that we have, and any progress is still progress. So pumped on that. Really, I'm not gonna try and ramble on too much longer. I've been asked a ton about my thoughts on the new 5th gen. I'm really, and I didn't wanna make like a separate video of me just talking about this, although it's really just my opinion. Short and sweet, I think they're awesome. The front end is really starting to come around and grow on me, especially with the whole paint matched front end. The rest of the body really looks like a 4th gen, so I like that as well. The new engine stuff, that has really got me kind of excited, if you guys didn't know. So after I read into it a little bit more, it seems like it is a redesigned truck, even though the body kind of resembles a 4th gen. So I guess technically it is considered a 5th gen. So the new engine stuff that I'm referring to, if you guys don't know, there's a lot of articles out on there on what all is new. So the interior, that dash is really, really sweet, that's for sure. And I don't know like exactly what's pushing the manufacturers, but a lot of the stuff, performance-wise, stuff like that, is starting to really kind of like, even with the factory air ride now, a lot of options that you would have to put on the truck are now just starting to come on there, which is really, really cool. Again, the new engine stuff. So basically what they referred to is a new cylinder head, different exhaust valves, different exhaust manifold, forged rods, which, you know, nobody really knows if these new internal modifications are really, really super awesome or not. It's going to take somebody really pushing them to the limits to kind of see what they take compared to older models. But different rods, different wrist pins on the pistons, advertise like a lighter rotating assembly. So just a ton of new engine stuff. Now, a lot of people are like, the whole CP4 thing. Guys, the CP4 thing, like, Fleece is going to come out with a CP3 conversion probably in like the first month that those things come out. So I really think the new engine, 1,000 foot-pounds right from the factory, the new engine is probably just going to be a beast. Now, they did update some of the transmission stuff as well, so hopefully that kind of solves some of the transmission stuff that's been going on. Maybe the Aizen kind of, maybe you can tune that now. So overall, really, really excited. Kind of like my last thing is, you know, I really am not a big fan of buying like a first year of a new generation for a lot of different reasons, mostly because all of the bugs that may, once you start really, really cranking these things out that come out, you know, like I usually wait for like the second, third, fourth, maybe when they redo like another facelift. We just got the dually, so the dually is not going anywhere. I'm not planning on trading in, even though it would be even sweeter. I really like the fact that the 18s have all of the aftermarket support out there now. So I probably will get a 5th gen eventually, maybe in a couple years or so, but not anytime soon, guys. So that's really my opinions. A lot of people have been asking. I'm really excited for the new engine stuff. Hopefully that thing can just take a whole ton of abuse. It's kind of like a factory built motor. That would be really, really cool. But anyway, guys, we're gonna keep cranking on the 2nd gen, waiting on a lot of parts for a lot of things. But getting this thing painted is definitely a priority number 1. So we're gonna try and spend all of the free time that we have there as well. So one of those videos should be coming up soon. That's it. That is gonna do it for this video, guys. Hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya.